So I pack up my bags, I move, I go to Los Angeles, and I want to be a comedian. And I meet Ali Wentworth. Ali Wentworth is married to Stephanopoulos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Her mother was
she's a really funny actress.
She's funny.
Yeah.
I meet her. My sister arranges me to meet everybody, right? So she has this dinner party.
Yeah.
I meet this guy named Martin Donovan who wrote, directed, produced a movie called Apartment Zero. He's an Argentinian director, very successful. He was supposed to write Jurassic Park with his brother-in-law, but he said, I'm not going to write about dinosaurs, you know. I'm an artist, you know.
Now he's kicking himself.
No, he isn't.
No, he isn't.
Oh, I don't know. I've not.
Yeah.
He gives me he says, you need to get a SAG card. I'm filming a movie with Christopher Reeves. Show up on the set and I'll find something for you.
Right.
So I get an extra part. Ali says, go to the Groundlings, is where Ali was performing, which is the top improvisational school with Second City. And so I go to audition and they accept me. And I have like Lisa Kudrow from Friends is one of my teachers. I have Kathy.
She's super funny.
Her character.
No, she's a very sort of under the radar actress. You know, she's just, I find her really funny.
You see, I find her character funny. Her Biffy character is funny. That's, you know, Kathy, improvisational comedy is not about being funny. It's about the character. So like, for example, my life is filled with these characters. So I can go, it was not you, Kenny, when Chorita Pola Neo, crazy, Bobby, right? So Nigerian, Arab, English.
Yeah.
I do all that. I just imitate. I'm a chameleon. I'm just going in. And so I get accepted and I'm doing stand-up comedy. I'm getting paid. Not often.
but it's working.
Yeah, I couldn't survive on the money. I was living hand to mouth.
Right.
I'm impoverished.
Yeah.
To survive, they hire me as the head waiter because I got the gift of the gab.
Yeah.
And lie. Right? If you stay long enough and listen to all the interview questions, all right, from all the people that screwed up, you'll get the answers. Right. So I stayed long enough, kind of like, you know, what side you serve on? You serve on the left, alcohol from the right, clear from the right, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I was head waiter, runner, busboy.
Yeah.
The only non-Hispanic busboy in Los Angeles. Right? I go, chef, you're not utilizing my skills. I sold sophisticated investments to sophisticated investors not that long ago. And you got me as a busboy. Make me maitre d'. So I'm maitre d'. The owner walks in and says, hey, where the hell you got the busboy dressed up as a maitre d' for? You know? So I was like, okay, forget it. I'm going to go to San Francisco. Go back to San Francisco. I'm doing the Holy City Zoo. I'm doing the open mic thing. And to support myself, I work as a waiter. I develop the skills of a waiter. And I end up in this really great restaurant called Elka, Franco-Japanese food. The chef de cuisine was Tracy Desjardins, you know, James Beard Award recipient, you know, an incredible woman, incredible chef.
And it was rare that there were women chefs, right? At the
time?
No,
not these women. These women only showed. I was like, and there was Barbara Trop. All the great women chefs. They started the, you know, Women's Chef Association. Yeah. And so, and I'm learning the skills of a waiter. So I bought the Food Lover's Companion because I couldn't tell you what the difference between a stock and a consommé was, and the different types of mushrooms and flavors of them and all that stuff.
So you really started at the ground from the bottom up in terms of in the restaurant world.
Oh,
you've been in every role.
position.
Yeah, every position.
When I ran away from home, I was a dishwasher.
Yeah.
Busboy. And then I went through the gamut of Los Angeles restaurant. And now I'm in this really great restaurant, learning the skills, learning what I used on Wall Street, learning the script.
Yeah.
So I write the script, how to sell.
So you are, I didn't realize this, but you're a self-taught chef?
Yeah.
So you never attended culinary school. You did it all through hands-on experience.
Yeah. I lecture at them sometimes.
You did you?
I'll do it. I just say yes.
Yeah, of course.
And so my dad walks in.
That's the best thing, actually. That what you've just said is I only just say yes, meaning that you're open to every single thing that comes your way.
That's the only way I'm in the position that I'm in today is because I said yes, and I don't look at failure as failure. I look at it like it's, you know, if it doesn't kill you, you've got an experience.
It's
you got
only
a story.
Experience, of course.
You know, but my fear of failure is so great that I really do work hard.
Yeah.
You know, because if I threw all that away, am I gonna fail at this? You know, my dad walks in and he's with a bunch of friends and he says, sorry, excuse the cliche. What are you, a stand-up comic and the stand-up comic waiter? Okay. Let me tell you, number one, you're not funny. Number two, you're a shitty waiter. And three, your education is far too expensive to think that you're a funny waiter and Vietnam's the future.
Your dad said that to you?
Yeah. I like to call my dad Field Gold Frankie.
Yeah.
Because when he gets really excited, by the end of the pitch, both of his hands will be here. It's like Vietnam, 3/4 the size of California with the gross domestic product and eighth of the state budget of California. 70 million people, 97% of the population literate, right? They've got tungsten. I don't know what tungsten is, right? But they mix the light bulbs, right? Tungsten, they got gold, they got diamond, they got oil, natural gas.
It's your dad that pointed Vietnam out to you. You took his advice.
I did.
That's amazing.
Well, what I wanted to do is I wanted to go to, because all the chefs was like, what do the Vietnamese eat? There's no books on Vietnamese food.
No.
It's ethnic. Vietnam was isolated for 25 years on an embargo.
Yeah.
A cultural economic embargo. So people did not know anything about this country. And so when I asked these really knowledgeable chefs, I mean, they can tell you about, Korean ingredients, Japanese ingredients, worldly. Vietnam, they eat noodles, dog, and soup.
And rice. Well, that's the impression.
Right.
So was part of the attraction that it was virgin territory in terms of perception around the world? That you could go in and basically you had a blank canvas that you could create what you wanted?
Yeah, but I like to tick a bunch of more boxes.
Okay.
So one is I was going to go learn the cuisine.
Yeah.
And I'll go back to San Francisco and do a Franco-Vietnamese restaurant.
Oh, that was the end game.
That was the end game. Like
okay.
1 year, 2 years.
Right.
It was a place for me that would allow me to fail where no one would see me fail.
Fair enough.
And so, and I had failed countless times.
Sure.
And it was about, it was like 19, I had my restaurant. And
what, were you getting embarrassed about those failures? Is that why?
No, I was getting angrier.
You were getting angry. Okay.
I was like, okay, now I'm going to show you again.
Right.
I'll teach you.
Yeah.
And so I'm in Hanoi, and this guy, Jonathan Birchall, comes up to me and he goes, why are you here? You can be anywhere in the world. You can be in New York, London, Paris, and be appreciated. I said, all I want is for someone to write me a review where they don't call my demi-glace a gravy. They don't call my garnish a topping. Well, there's a part in your interview, well, not your interview, but it was in Steve Jobs's.
Yeah.
So I was inspired by that speech because I watched a bunch of them, and he was describing my life. I said, they're not dots, they're pendulum swings. And then occasionally there might be a dot that is a pivotal moment.
Right.
But generally it's these huge.
But you got these huge swings back and forth.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you something.
Death.
Okay.
Very important.
Yeah, death is important in everyone's life.
To accept
that.
To accept
it. Okay.
And I was in that moment.
What happened at that moment for you to suddenly think of death?
Well, it was a culmination of things. I'm sleeping on the sofa of my restaurant for 9 months because I wasn't sure I was going to make it. This iconic restaurant. My childhood friend, David Branston, calls me up and says, we're going to Irian Jaya. Irian Jaya is considered the greatest diving place in the world, according to Jacques Cousteau, with the greatest clarity of water and biodiversity.
And where is that?
In the archipelagos of Indonesia.
Okay.
To get there, you got to take an airplane from Bali to Surabaya to another small island, and then you end up in this a boat, a ship that he had chartered, and it takes you a day to get to this location.
So you're really isolated.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing everywhere, nothing down in the water, clams bigger than your coffee table.
Yeah.
It couldn't grow any further because it was wedged between two coral reefs.
Yeah.
I'm not a diver.
I was going to ask, are you a diver? No.
I'm not. No, my mother had the boat in Hurghada.
Yeah.
And so Tiran. So I'm the person. I don't want to be a patty guy, right? I just want, you are the instructor. I'm next to you. You worry about me.
Sure.
If anything happens,
sure,
I'm coming to you.
Yeah.
And so I'm losing money in this restaurant, and all of a sudden I'm having one of the greatest privileges of my life, and we're flying on this airline, and the airline's called Marapati, which means pigeon. not exactly the name you want. You want bird of prey.
You want to be on an eagle.
I want to be an eagle, a hawk,
Yeah.
not a pigeon.
Not a pigeon.
And their slogan is get the feeling. They got it everywhere. Get the feeling.
Oh my God.
They got a puke bag the size of like a McDonald's small fries. I was like, if I'm going to puke, it'll be more than the small fries.
Right.
And so,
but things are obviously going to turn bad.
Yeah.
And
so we're trying to land the airplane.
Is it a seaplane?
No.
Okay.
It's a small, it's about 100.
Like a Cessna?
No. So this is 100, this is 100,
Oh.
This is 100, like 180 seats. It's a
Okay.
small aircraft.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, sitting next to me is my childhood friend's wife, Lydia. And we both had realized at least 10 years before this that both of us had this conversation that we both think we're going to die on an airplane.
Oh, wow. That's very dark, Bobby.
Of course it's dark.
Wow.
It's
Oh
like,
my God.
you can't appreciate life.
I have a fear of flying, so this is really uncomfortable. Anyway, go ahead.
And so all of a sudden, as we're landing, it was like the engines turned off. And we both look at each other like, what the hell's that? And then 1, 2, and this next second, G-force on your chair spinning, and everybody on the airplane is going, screaming. Not once, not twice. Third time, in front of us is George Atiyah. George Atiyah, his uncle was the first Arab elected governor in Oregon. And he was an environmentalist. He protected the spotted owl. Great guy, in the forest and stuff. And so he's looking out the window, and he's a pilot, and he's looking at us like, if we survive this, I'm going to kill the captain. So I'm like, George, why would you kill the captain? He says, because under FAA rules, you got to find another location if you can't land the aircraft. And I was like, well, what makes you think he's trying to try again? And he says, you see that church down there? I'm like, church? It's a Muslim country. What's a church? That's a bad sign. That's a bad sign, George. So I literally get out of my chair. I'm walking out. This is like turbulence and stuff. And everyone's like, Bobby, where are you going? I'm going to find out what the hell's going on.
Oh my
God. I'm going to do. And so I go up in the front of the aircraft. The flight attendant sitting there says, sir, what are you doing out of your seat? I said, I want to know what's going on. The captain hasn't said anything.
Yeah.
We're all in the back. We're scared shitless. I want to know what's going on. And she says, sir, go back to your seat and pray.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So,
oh no.
And so and everyone's like, what does she say? She says, pray.
Wow, Bobby.
Yeah.
That's really out of my comfort zone. What happened?
I go back. Lydia's about to go to hit the volume. And this is where the part of, never knowing if believing is a blessing or a truth.
Yeah.
And I look at her and I'm like, before you take that volume, let me convert you to Islam. So easy. Just in case.
Sitting duck.
I convert her and I'm sitting there.
And you're at peace.
And now I'm in this moment.
You're at peace.
No, not yet. I'm gonna feel ecstasy in a couple of seconds.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, God, is this how you're going to take me? Will I be in one piece?
Oh, wow, Bobby.
Will I make the evening news? How long will it take?
Everything flashing through your mind.
Yeah, 85 people died. There were 16 Americans or whatever. These are it's going through my head. And then it starts to hit me. And now all of a sudden my body relaxes. I feel ecstasy from my fingers to my toes. And I feel love like I've never felt before. And I see pictures that I've not seen. I've never seen them ever again, but they just start coming to me. There's a picture of me in the Golden Gate Park with my sister. I was dressed up as a Cub Scout.
So from your childhood, they like flashes of your childhood coming back at you.
Love.
It's
not the image.
Yeah.
It's a
it's
sensation.
The feeling you had from it.
Yeah, love. And my niece, seeing her smile, and my grandparents and my younger cousins and everything that I ever loved.
Yeah.
And then the next minute, smash, crash, and all of a sudden, we're skidding on the air, and David's like, what were you thinking about? I was feeling love. What were you thinking about? He says, I was thinking I was going to die next to Michael, So you're sitting next to my wife,
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, that changed my life. And all of a sudden it was like,
so this is, I hate to bring you back down to earth, but this is a major pivot in your life.
Yeah.
But what did it make you pivot to? Or how did it make you appreciate life after that? What changed for you?
Today is not a guarantee, it's a gift. So you make every day count. You do what you love.
Yeah.
Keep on pursuing it. There's no fear. I'd have no fear. I mean, when I did stand-up comedy, I was scared. I'm shy, generally speaking. I don't really socialize professionally. I'm an extrovert,
Sure.
but I've always been the shy kid in school,
Yeah.
and I've always been able to find my commonality versus my difference. But generally speaking, I'm a really private person. And so that allowed me to not think of anything greater than what was going through my heart of what I wanted to do. And like as an example, um, there's I didn't care. It's like nothing can you can't hurt this.